Warning, this podcast contains sexual content, graphic language, and bodily functions. Get over it.
I'm Heather Ann Gottlieb, and this is Dirty Girl, the podcast that shares stories from real women about their disgusting habits, taboo secrets, and unruly pastimes.
Fart, burp, queef your little heart out. It's not a girl thing. It's not a boy thing. It's not a woman or a man thing. Everybody has a body, and it's disgusting, and we all just need to accept it and love it.
How can we take this to the next level of disgusting?
Pregnancy, the most beautiful thing in the world, the only thing women are meant to do. Yes, create children in their bellies. It's glorious, isn't it? Maybe not as glorious as you'd think. I met with two preggo women who told me about how their changing bodies are nasty. This is Amy. She preggo. So, yeah. Are you dirty? Are you gross?
I remember being younger, like in high school or whatever, and just being like so freaked out that I was the only person that I knew out of like my cool group of girls that was like a gross, dirty person. Like I would clean my body, but I'd still be like, oh, I'm a mess. And so yeah. And I think I just embrace it because I can't escape it.
Good. So I notice you're pregnant. Uh-huh. Is there anything gross about pregnancy specifically?
There are endless disgusting things about being pregnant, and everyone's like, oh yeah, it's like a miracle. It's so pretty. It is not. It's fucking gross. First of all, like your nipples. Okay, so this is my second baby. I have a daughter who's also incredibly disgusting, I should mention. She's just diving right in about being the grossest human alive, but but she's awesome. Well, okay, so your body morphs into this like kind of a refrigerator shaped pool float of a body shape, which is not actually a shape that is describable. The doctors are like, yeah, she kind of has a pool float body. Yeah, so there's lots of different things that happen, the stretching and the swelling, but specifically nipples. Pregnant nipples, mine, I guess, are so big. They're like, I feel like everyone can see them. I remember like I did a show recently and I was like, people can see, I had like layers on. People can see how big my nipples are through this jacket. Like and they're like flat, and the color is not a color that's found in nature either. It's like a new color.
How would you describe that color?
I would describe, like if Crayola were to make a crayon out of my nipple shade, it's kind of like a purple. It's like the saddest purple. It's like a brown purple. I guess that's mauve, but it's not. It's drabber, and yeah. After I had my kid, they changed color, and they remained that way. But this is absurd now, because after you have your first baby, your body knows what to do, and so it goes straight into like full blown pregnancy disgusting mode. And so it just immediately got really dark. And now it's like now it's like a whole different ball game. Also, before I had a baby too, one of my nipples was inverted.
Ooh, tell me about that.
Yeah. I just had and no one had this too. And I was like, this is so weird but my nipple just you could put 3 drops of water in there. Yeah. I tried, obviously. I experimented.
So many questions.
About the inverted
yeah. So it was just one.
Yes, it was my left one.
And then when you got pregnant, it popped out?
When I gave birth.
Ooh, as the baby came out, it popped.
Like this, like the turkey's done. I was always breastfeeding. Pretty much right away though, yeah. And then it stayed like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about that? Is that common? I
don't know. I think having inverted nipples is not common, I think. But it feels right, honestly, because you have a human, tugging on that thing.
Is it something where when it was inverted, it's still you could still like get hard, right? Or not at all?
Not that, no. It was very weird. I also, before I had my baby, I had no feel like you could like connect a car battery to my nipples and I like had no feeling. And so that's why when my friends would be like, oh my God, he played with my nipples and I loved it. And I was like, oh, all right. I don't really care.
And now you have feeling in them?
Now I do, yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Bodies are so cool.
They are. When you are having a child, it is a magical moment. You are going to shit on the table, and it's unavoidable. And I thought that I didn't do it. I was like, I'm just one of the few that didn't. And up until recently, my mom, actually right as like my daughter was coming out, like burst into the delivery room and was it was so awful. She was filming and I was like, don't film. What are you doing? But she filmed my daughter coming out and she said that she noticed that like I just like pooped and they cleaned it right up. But I was like, no, I can control myself. And you can't. You can't control it.
Was it a big poop?
I didn't see the poop. I saw my... did you ever see Fifth Element, the movie Fifth Element? Okay, you know how that woman, like the singer who has like the stones inside of her? When I gave birth, that is what, when she gets like blown up or they reach in there and take it, that is what it looks like. It's like ropes and like, I don't know, it's so bizarre. It's so bizarre to watch. It's heinous.
Now that you've been pregnant and now that you've given birth and you're about to give birth, not about to, but you will give birth soon, is that, are you nervous now that you know what it's like? Are you excited? Are you ready to not be pregnant? Are you still enjoying being pregnant? Tell me about that.
I don't enjoy being pregnant. I think people who enjoy it, who say they enjoy it, are lying because it sucks. You feel like shit all the time. And, the end result is awesome. And so, obviously, I'm looking forward to that. But labor is horrendous. And, it's amazing because, like, people have been giving birth for, like, a long time. This isn't a new concept. But the idea that anyone does it without an epidural is so crazy. I want an epidural right now. Like, I would take one this moment. They are so dope. They're the best.
What's it like being on one?
It's like you are your most charming, calm, delightful self. You're so witty and fresh because they just took away your pain. And so you're like kind of quick and funny. And the only downside is that you can't walk and that you have to like pee through a tube. But I can totally live with that because it is awesome. It's kind of like getting nitrous, but like for your bottom half.
Stay tuned for the original song, Big Angry Dark Bleeding Nipples by DJ Teddyhers. This is Jenny. She preggo too. Is this your first baby?
It is, yeah.
Are you excited?
I'm excited. Pregnancy is something where everybody always says it's such a beautiful thing and it's so great. It's fun. It's nice. With my job, I work 12-hour days where I'm running around all the time. So, I keep active, but the side effects of pregnancy are really not fun. Like, there's so much gas and burping and just, it's so weird because they get hiccups inside of you. Like, when you get stressed out, like, when I get stressed out, he gets hiccups. And I'm just like, what the hell's going on? Like, and it feels so weird. It feels like you have an alien pulsating inside of you. And most women are like, it's beautiful. And I'm like, I think it's weird. Like, it's weird for me. And, the other day, this might be too much information, but whatever. I've already gone this far. I had to go to a butt doctor because I have horrific hemorrhoids now.
From the baby.
Yeah, from the baby, because they push on your digestive tract and there's so much pressure that your body kind of just like everything just kind of is like, well, we're done here. We're just going to come out any way we can. We're going to burp, fart, hemorrhoids, whatever. And your veins get huge. Your nipples look like in anthropology class. Like, you know, those tribal videos you watch from like the early 1900s. I took a lot of anthropology in college, but you know, where the natives, they're all topless and, you know, and everybody's topless, and it looks like that because they have babies so frequently that it just happens. But I have anthropology boobs now. I call them, and my husband's like, you're crazy. I'm like, don't look at my anthropology boobs, please. So my normal boobs, it's like a pleasant pink. And it's like a normal, like it's a regular size areola, and that's it. It's like very normal, very textbook. Now it looks like a dartboard. Like it's so like very dark and very big. And I read in one of my books that, actually I listened in one of my books because I'm not a huge fan of reading, but I listened in a book that, what happens, the reason why they get so large and dark and it looks like a dartboard is so the baby can see, the baby can see the target, because when the baby is born, the eyesight is so bad.
I thought you meant the baby was seeing through the nipples.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh my god, that would be funny. The baby seeing through the nipple. No, they see. That way they can spot their target and they can get the breast milk. So, and I haven't ventured into that yet because he's not born yet. I would say one of my most stressful parts of this pregnancy actually is planning the baby shower. That was very stressful.
What other gross things are associated with being pregnant?
Let's see. Oh, nosebleeds. You get the worst nose. Second trimester, my nose was bleeding all the time and the headaches were rotten. But like, I have really bad allergies, so my nose is always kind of going anyway. And then I would start blowing my nose and then just blood would start gushing out like everywhere. And we were going, it was on New Year's. My husband and I were going to, you know, this fancy dinner, and we were dressed up all nice or whatever. And then in the Uber, I blew my nose and just blood. And he's like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? And I was like, it's just a bloody nose. It's fine. Let's go to dinner. Another thing that is gross is your constipation's horrible. You get a lot of butt issues when you're pregnant. The constipation is really, really bad, like to the point where you stop going to the bathroom for like weeks unless you have to take, and then every pharmacist you go to, they tell you, you can't take this, you can't take Miralax, you can't take Colace, you can't take Senecot, you can't take any of these things because it might destroy the baby, it might do this. And my doctor said, you take Miralax and you will be fine. So we took care of that problem. But, you know, just going to the bathroom takes like 20 minutes now, because like you have to have, like, I carry a huge pack of baby wipes with me now to make sure that I don't stink of hormone sweat. And, you know, and then you have the hemorrhoid stuff that you have to do. But one of the bad things is the night sweats is really disgusting, because you can shower like 3 times a day. It doesn't matter. The sweating at night is so bad. You can have the room on 10 below 0. It doesn't matter. Like, the amount of shirts that I have gone through, because I like pajamas, and the amount I've had to buy like 10 pairs of pajama pants, so I cannot reuse them every night. I have to put them in the hamper because I just soak everything. And one morning, because my husband works through the nights, because he's in computers, so he chooses his own hours. He works from home. And I woke up one morning and he's like, I love you, but holy mackerel. He's like, you stink. And I was like, I know. And I have to go to work. And I was like, and I just showered. And it was because I was sweating when I was doing my makeup. So I had to shower again, because it's like, just, I don't understand where the sweat even comes from. You know what I mean? And like, I wasn't dehydrated or anything. It just, so many pairs of pajamas. I should own a pajama business by now. I buy so many pajamas. But yeah, so that's I haven't had like stretch marks or anything, which thank God, because I use lots of shea butters and stuff on me, and I've been using them since I was little. But yeah, I would say the worst part, and then there's the burping. Actually, that's pretty embarrassing, because you're just sitting there and all of a sudden it comes out and everybody's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I'm pregnant. Let's get over it already. Because everybody at work is like, Jenny. And I'm like, what? Like, it's the baby. Don't blame it on the baby. I'm like, I'm going to blame it on the baby. Because I can.
Use that baby scapegoat as long
Oh
as
my
you
God, I have. Trust me.
Well, you earned it.
Yeah. I mean, why not? And, you know, when he's a little boy, I'm going to blame farts on him too. I'm going to be like, hey, you know, my stomach hurts, but it's him. It's him. He did this to me.
Dirty Girl is a podcast that you just listened to. It's produced by me, along with Cameron Tagge and Alex Salem. You can find us on Instagram at Dirty Girl Pod. I post a shitload of uber feminist stuff. You're gonna love it. We're also on Twitter and Facebook, same handle, but Instagram is my favorite. I'm Heather Ann Gottlieb. I will see you next time. Until then, take some time to be dirty today. I'm preggo, my body is growing, there's a baby in my belly, I'm definitely showing, my nipples getting dark and big, and sometimes they be bleeding, but it's okay, I'm cool as shit, and I'm just keep singing, that didn't rhyme, but it's okay.
Dark bleeding nipple hair, dark.
This has been a Whohaha podcast.